Hey Fishy, what do you mean your favourite game of all time isn't Assassin's Creed? I thought Assassin's Creed was your life!
So, contrary to probably a popular belief among viewers here, my favourite game of all time is not Assassin's Creed, as much as I love the franchise. When I say favourite game, I do tend to mean game on its own. When I say franchise, I mean franchise, or gaming franchise in this case. To which Assassin's Creed is definitely up there as one of my favourite gaming franchises of all time. But none of the games within this franchise are my favourite game of all time. That's a different game entirely. In this video I'm going to show you the two competitors and then I'm going to tell you which one I think is superior. I'm going to do it in this way because up until very recently, for a few months now, these two games have been basically neck and neck, but one started to pull ahead. So first of all we have Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, or as I like to call it, Aboriginal ISIS Simulator. If you don't get it, that was a joke. That's not actually a competitor. Actually, no. First of all, we do have the Elderscrolls V Skyrim. Now, for years, I have absolutely loved this game, and I still do, and I still find it to be playable with an infinite amount of replay value as far as I'm aware at least. It's a game that you can play again and again and again and keep finding new encounters that you never experienced, and at the same time you can mod it a lot as well and play through the game again, but with a more personalised experience. However, at this point I find modding somewhat compulsive and playing the vanilla game isn't necessarily as fun. Although even in the vanilla version the game is still incredible. I just need my some 10 billion mods to make the game personalised to me, and honestly it's great when it's like that. I enjoy exploring the world and killing rabbits and killing bandits and killing rabbits and doing quests and killing rabbits. I enjoy looting chests and killing rabbits. Joking aside, this RPG is a game that I have put in hundreds if not thousands of hours into. And I haven't lost interest in the game, so every other month I'll pick up the game again or fire it up on Steam because PC Master Race, please. And I'll put in another few dozen hours and I'll just keep on doing that. I'll keep on starting it again and playing things perhaps a different way, or going through the world on my own and not bothering with very many quests. This was a game that when I first played it I got hooked pretty quickly, and I was one of those players who just wouldn't stop playing Skyrim for a few months, and then when I did I'd stop for about a month, then I'd go back and then I'd play it again and I'd be in the same state as before, can't stop playing it sort of thing. And that's a cycle that I can't break even today. On top of this, the game is set in a universe where I'm somewhat fascinated by the lore, say, with previous titles such as Morrowind and Oblivion, both of which I played. However, to my shame, I haven't played any of the other Elder Scrolls games before this. However, my interest in the lore made me quite interested in the universe and thus made me like it, and then it became a love for it. And a love for the universe in which a game is set also helps you like the game that you're playing, and that's definitely an example of what happened to me with Skyrim. However, if I were to give one major criticism to Skyrim, it's that some parts of the game felt a bit small. For example, the city of Whiterun is about the size of, say, one district in, say, Novigrad from The Witcher 3. Maybe even smaller. And thus it felt less like a city and more of a glorified village, but all in all I really did enjoy the open world, and this is more of a nitpick from me. However, it will be disappointing to see really small cities in the Elder Scrolls V whenever that gets released. On top of the fun open world and things, nothing's cooler than being this all-powerful badass Dragonborn guy, who has this cool power of the Thuum where he gets to shout at things, or she, depending on which gender you choose to play as. And I really do like this shouting tool because it helps me kill rabbits and goats, and they're my biggest enemies in all of Skyrim. Although having such an overpowered main protagonist does sort of add to a critique that I have, is that you feel too powerful at certain points. At the beginning of the game, nothing is especially hard, and Skyrim's legendary difficulty is easier than some games' easy difficulty. However, this has never been too much of an issue for me, although I can understand why it would be an issue for certain people. I personally am not the biggest fan of being ridiculously powerful, and I would rather be put in a world where it isn't centered around you. Something Skyrim's predecessor Morrowind did beautifully, although I may have to work on my definition of beautiful.
You Inma.
However, the biggest thing for a game for me, of the style that Skyrim is, say an RPG set in a fantasy universe, is probably its atmosphere. A lot of that can be set up by lore, so I was quite interested in Skyrim atmospherically from the start, and at the same time another thing that's always good is a decent soundtrack. Something that Skyrim definitely has. But to wrap it all up in a neat little cake, I don't know why I said cake, but to wrap it up, Skyrim is just one of those games that I can keep going back to and playing, and honestly, I absolutely love this game, and nothing, no matter how good a quality games get, can make me probably change my opinion on this. Skyrim is out of this world. Up until I was late to another game, I started playing it a few months back, and that one managed to dethrone Skyrim. And that game is, of course, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 2. Again, that's a joke. I know, funny right? But the game that managed to dethrone Skyrim is of course The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This game, oh my god. This game came out in 2015 and I strayed from playing it until 2017. That's 2 years of my life I've been missing out on perhaps one of the best gaming experiences ever. And almost certainly the best gaming experience that I've ever had. This game is bloody incredible. And although I don't value it much higher than I do Skyrim, there are certain aspects to The Witcher 3 that just blow Skyrim right away. And I don't believe it'll be particularly fair to compare the two because they're very, very different, considering that Skyrim is an RPG and The Witcher 3 is more of an action RPG. But this game has everything. A cool atmosphere, cool lore, a cool protagonist, really well done voices, really well written story, and well written side quests as well. Deep side quests, loads of wild goose chases, a fun story driven adventure, and graphically beautiful. And it also doesn't need modding. As I did say with Skyrim, I did find that I needed to mod it to be able to enjoy it the most and get the most out of the game. Whereas with The Witcher 3, I've still got it completely vanilla, and it's absolutely fine. Although mods are openly available for the game, at this point I just personally find there to be no need for them. This game sustains itself perfectly. And I really do enjoy going around doing contracts, killing monsters, killing bandits, killing chickens. In my mind, this game is truly the benchmark for the quality of games in general. But the developers didn't stop with the game. No, they went on to make a DLC. They made 2 DLCs. One was really good for its story aspects, and the second one was just the benchmark for RPG DLCs. I honestly do not know what to say besides from saying that this game is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't already picked it up after 2 years, then what the fuck are you doing? I don't even think Skyrim managed to suck me in as well as this game did. It was like, I fired up the game, first mission, I was already invested. I was interested in the characters, like the protagonist Geralt, I was interested in the side characters, and everybody seemed to have something of a story to tell, besides from the standard peasants. And just like Skyrim, you can wind up getting lost in the world and doing side quests and things, and the quality is pretty consistent. Even the side quests are really well thought out and thought up. This game is pure quality. It's also quantity, but quality as well. It's like it's done both. A lot of games struggle with this and end up with a load of pointless side content that isn't very high quality at all. So, yeah, it's quite interesting how they've managed to do quality and quantity and have hundreds of hours worth of playing time there in one single playthrough and have it all good quality. This is a mystery to me. So, with regards to which game is superior, Skyrim or The Witcher 3? Well, I probably think at this point, although it is pretty close, I will admit, in my mind at least, others may disagree, others may think one's miles ahead of the other, others may have other thoughts, but in my opinion, The Witcher 3 just about takes the lead here, and is definitely my favourite game of all time. So from where I'm standing, The Witcher 3 is definitely my favourite game of all time at this point. It's always good for another game to come along and top all that, because it just means that games are getting better, presumably. But I should probably address those who aren't necessarily best pleased with the fact that my favourite game of all time on its own is not an Assassin's Creed game. But I won't, because I shouldn't have to. But I will say that Assassin's Creed is up there as one of my favourite gaming franchises of all time, and it's a community that I fit into easiest. But thanks for watching everybody, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share, comment, let your friends know about this video and the channel, let me know what your favourite game of all time is in the comments, and I'll see you all very soon with another video. So I'll see you all later.